So this is going to be the tutorial on how to trace in Adobe Illustrator. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to click on the image that you're going to use to trace, and you want to just click and drag this onto Adobe Illustrator. So once you click and drag that onto Adobe Illustrator, then your image should pop up on the page. Now the paper isn't the correct size for this image, so you want to just delete this image, and you're just going to resize this page. So I'm just going to close this box, don't save, and you're going to create a new box. Oops. You create a new document, and you just want to make sure your size is a letter, and you want to change the orientation to the long side. But just important though, the picture that you choose though, make sure it matches the paper. So now this is going to match it more. Okay, so you have your image here, and if you need to resize your image, like this one's too small, you're just going to click and drag, and you want to hold the shift key while you click and drag, and you're going to resize your image. And you want to try your best just to fill in all of that white space. So this is the best I can do. If the white space is showing, it's fine. And you want to go to your layers window. Okay, if that window's not showing, I'll go to Windows Layer, and you want to lock this layer. So you just click on the box and right here, it's next to the eyeball, and just double click on your layer 1, and just rename this your picture. Okay, so this is the picture that I'm going to use to trace my my portrait. And after you're done with that, then you go want to create a new layer. And this layer 2, rename that, name this your outline. So, okay, real important, when you're on your layers, make sure you're clicking on the outline and do your tracing. Okay, because if you click on picture, you're not going to be able to do anything on that layer. So, if you can't do any drawings on it, then you want to click on the outline. And now on your outline layer, okay, you want to make sure to click your pen tool. You can hit P for the quick command, and with your fill, okay, if it's white, you need to change this to none. So the none is the red stroke on the box. Click none, and you want to make sure your stroke is black. Okay, make sure it's black, and now you can begin to trace your picture. Okay, so just make sure your stroke size is 1, but you can change it later. And you're just going to trace your drawing. And when you do trace your drawing, just start on the edges first, and then move your way around. So to start on this, so I'm just going to start on the edges of the face. You just want to click here, and you just want to find another point to trace, and you're just going to click and drag, and you just want to trace that line. Okay, real important though, make sure to click on the last point that you did before to create your lines. Okay, because if you try to make a curve here, I mean it works fine, but eventually when you start to make your curves, they're going to it's not going to work out. Well, in this case it worked out fine, but I'm going to look for another part where it won't work. So okay, so I'm just going to trace that. Now, some of these areas you might need to zoom in closer, so I actually want to continue where this hairline is. And to zoom in, you just hold Command and hit plus, and that's going to zoom in your picture. And Command minus is going to zoom out. Okay, and you want to also use the hand tool. So, you can just click H, and you can move it around. So you just want to zoom in close on the image to make sure you get the correct lines when you're doing your tracing. Okay, so what might happen some of the times is maybe let's just say you click off of this line, okay, and you try to go back on it. So to go back to working on this line again, you just gotta make sure to click on that last point that you made first, and then you can continue your lines. So like right here, I'm just gonna click and create lines. Okay, so now this is an instance where your lines get a little weird and it's not tracing. So if that ever does happen, you gotta click on the last point that you made, and you can make that line again. Okay, so for like these specifically these ones with like the curves are extreme, you're gonna need to click on your last point in order for it to work the way it should. So I'm just tracing the hair now, and I'm just gonna go all the way around to tracing the see, like right there, it's not working. So if you make a mistake like that, Command Z is gonna be it's gonna fix your mistake. So make sure to like I messed up again there. Command Z, Command Z, Command Z. Okay, I ended up making 2 points there, but if things are not working the way they're not supposed to, Command Z is gonna be your best friend in this program. Okay, now I'm not essentially tracing all of these hairlines because it's gonna take me forever to do that. So I'm just thinking about the general shape and just like the important lines that I want to keep in my picture. So like right here, I don't really need to do all of these little hairlines. I'm just gonna break it up into just a general shape and just create the important lines that you really need. Okay, so that's like one thing that's going to be challenging in when you're tracing over an image is you just want to find lines that you want to use in your picture. You don't have to trace every single line in the picture. If you did, it would be working on this drawing forever and ever, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm using the hand tool just to move it around. And I'm just going to trace some of these lines. Like right here, see that happened again. I lost the line that I was working on. It's always better to connect all your lines together. So I undid that, and I'm clicking on that last point again just to continue this line here. Okay, so you're just going to continue with these. Oops, messed up there. Command Z. And, oops, Command Z. I got to click on that last point again. And I'm just going to continue with it. Well, once you've used this program long enough, it should become second nature to use these lines, or to make your curves. Whoops. Okay, so I can actually zoom out a little bit here just to see how everything looks on that picture. Okay, so I'm actually almost done with her hair in this picture, and I'm just gonna make up the hair here because I don't want to do all of that hair. I'm just getting the general shape. I'm not worried about those small details just yet. I mean, if I wanted to, I could add those details later, but I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Alright, so those are the lines that you made. Now, if you want to see how it looks like in your actual picture, you can click on the eyeball on your picture, and it's going to show you all the lines that you made. Alright, so I'm going to work on this nose here. Just get the general shape. And then if you want to start on a new line, you got to hit the selection tool first and click away, and then you go back to the pen tool to continue a new line. But if you can, it's always better to try to just continue with the same line, as you want to it's always better to make your lines into shapes rather than lines themselves, because it's going to make the coloring a lot more easier when you get to that. And you always want to try to use as little anchor points as possible when you're drawing. So like right here, it's only using the if I zoom in, these little points in this picture, You can't really see it there, but right here, these little points here are your anchor points. So you want to try to use as little anchor points as possible in your drawing. So, I'm just tracing over these lines. Okay, now some of you may run into this problem here where, you have a lot of lines going on in your picture. And, let's just say I want to, let me zoom in. Let's just say I want to get like the details of like the inside of these lines. Alright, so, oops, I kind of messed up the side a little bit, but let me delete that. So if you ever want to delete the, let me go back. Like if you ever want to delete the lines that you make, you can actually just use the selection tool and just click on that line, and you can delete it. Okay, so that's going to delete the whole line. Now, if you want to delete sections of the line, you can click on the direct selection tool, this one here, and just click on a point, and you can just delete those points. Okay, so like I messed up like right here, I messed up right there, so I'm just going to use this tool here. Click on that point because that's the messed up one. I'm going to delete that, and then you can fix the line. Okay, so I'm going to make one more curve here, and I'm going to make a curve there, and I'm going to make a curve here. Okay, so it's real important to zoom in on these pictures when you're working on them because you want to make sure you get those nice details in your picture. Okay, now let's just say I want to trace this line here. Some of you may run into the problem where some of these lines combine with other ones. Like, let me show you. Like right here, you might click on the. Oh, okay, it's working out fine. But I'm gonna try to find one instance where that might happen. Because it happens when you overlap some of your lines. Okay, so I'm gonna make another line here. And okay, I'm not running into that problem. But let me know if you have that problem where your lines start combining with other lines. Sometimes you need to play around with where you're starting your lines. Like it's better to start off from away from the line, and then you want to connect on that other one. Okay, but real important, you want to get like the details in your picture. Okay, because the more details you have in the image, the stronger the image will look when you're tracing. Alright, so I'm trying to get all these details here. Get that. Go back to here, click away. Try to get this line here. Okay, so like here's one instance where the lines did combine. So like this line here ended up going on that one. So if that ever does happen, it's always better to just try to find like an open space where it wouldn't connect. Like right here, it's not connecting. And I want to create this line here, my picture. Okay, that's gonna be like my dark spot. Whoops. Command Z, undo. And whoops. And there goes my line right there. Alright, and if you want to just see how it looks again, there it is. Alright, so yeah, that's the tutorial on how to do the how to use the pen tool. Okay, and how to trace the lines.